July 11th, 2015, 8:52 p.m., Altiplano Federal Prison, Mexico. A guard walks his routine patrol, stops at cell 20, glances at the monitor. The inmate is lying on the floor near the shower, same position as always, depressed, broken. The guard notes it and keeps moving. But 30 feet below that cell in total darkness, 3 men are digging upward. Pickaxes scraping concrete, 16 months of work, 1.7 kilometers of tunnel, $5 million. One of them whispers, "We're through." A small hole opens in the shower floor. Dust pours down. The man on the floor isn't sleeping, he's waiting. Joaquin Guzman Loera, El Chapo. In 8 minutes he will vanish from the most secure prison in Mexico. How? This story starts with a different man. 2012. Andrew Hogan steps off the plane. DEA agent, moved his family here for one reason: catch El Chapo Guzman, head of the Sinaloa Cartel, worth $14 billion, most wanted man on earth. Hogan walks into the DEA office, asks his supervisor, "Where's the task force hunting Chapo?" His supervisor laughs. There is no task force, no team, not even a single agent working the case. Everyone knows Chapo can't be caught. He owns the Mexican government. Hogan doesn't waste time, starts building contacts, studying El Chapo's communication systems. Encrypted phones, constantly changing SIM cards, hunting a ghost. But every ghost leaves a trail. April 4th, 1957. La Tuna, Sinaloa, Mexico. A boy is born in the mountains, dirt floors, no electricity. Joaquin Guzman. El Chapo, the short one, 5 feet 6 inches. Boys here don't dream of being doctors, they dream of being drug traffickers. The only way out. Life was hard. 3 older brothers died young. His father was a drunk who beat him and took his money. El Chapo left home at 15, saw a way out of poverty. He drops out of school, can barely read, but he's cunning, ruthless, ambitious, works poppy fields, then marijuana farms. By his 20s, running shipments for the Guadalajara cartel. Someone steals from the cartel? El Chapo eliminates them. He rises fast. By the early 1990s, El Chapo is one of Mexico's most powerful drug lords, operating with complete impunity, bribing officials until 1993. Mexican authorities arrest him, sentenced to 20 years in Puente Grande maximum security prison. Still running the Sinaloa cartel from behind bars, orders passed through lawyers, bribes paid to guards. The empire continues. Then the Mexican Supreme Court approves a new law, easier extradition to the United States. Time to leave. The first official prison escape. A bribed guard helps him climb into a laundry cart, pushes him through the prison, into a car trunk, gone. For 13 years, no one can find him. During those years, El Chapo transforms the Sinaloa cartel into one of the most powerful criminal organizations in history, operating in 50 countries, supplying most drugs flowing into the United States: cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine. Billions in profits. He becomes a billionaire, most wanted criminal on earth. Invisible. 2012. Andrew Hogan gets a break. A colleague intercepts El Chapo's BlackBerry pin. Someone in the cartel gave it up. They tracked the signal to Cabo San Lucas, luxury resort town. Hogan coordinates with Mexican police. 3 mansions. Raid all 3 simultaneously. El Chapo is in the 3rd one, but he's gone, out the back, into a waiting car. May 2014, another hit. El Chapo in Culiacan, 5 houses. Marines storm the property. El Chapo escapes again, through a tunnel, a bathtub covering a hole. Finally, a trail. 3 days later, Mazatlan, Mexico, 6:40 a.m. Marines track El Chapo to a beachfront hotel. They blow the door off. El Chapo barricades in the bathroom, assault rifle in hand. His wife pleads, "Don't hurt our daughters." El Chapo knows he's finished. No tunnel this time. He surrenders. Andrew Hogan gets the call. We got him. 10 years of hunting, over. But Hogan worries. His family is in Mexico. El Chapo's people know who he is. They board a plane back to the United States. Mission accomplished. El Chapo is transferred to Altiplano Federal Prison, 90 kilometers west of Mexico City. Most secure facility in Mexico. Concrete walls 40 feet high, motion sensors, infrared cameras, guard towers, level 5 security. Solitary confinement, 23 hours a day, cell 20. El Chapo can't move without someone watching. The warden tells the press he will never leave this cell, not alive. But the warden doesn't know. 1 month after El Chapo's arrest, a construction company registers with the government. Legitimate paperwork. They purchase land in Santa Juanita, 1 mile from Altiplano, a warehouse. Inside, 30 men start digging. March 2014, the tunnel begins. Professional mining engineers, architects, electricians, all on El Chapo's payroll. Vertical shaft 30 feet down, then horizontal, UE East. Reinforced with wooden beams, electrical lighting, ventilation pipes, a motorcycle rigged to a cart. But there's a problem. How do they know exactly where cell 20 is? GPS doesn't work through concrete. The solution? An engineer poses as a water company inspector, bribes a prison official, gets the building schematics. They overlay the layout with GPS coordinates. Now they know exactly where cell 20 is. But they need one more thing. Where El Chapo is inside the cell, they need a blind spot. Inside Altiplano, El Chapo adapts. Wake at 6 a.m., breakfast through the slot. Exercise yard at 7 a.m., walks laps, 50 laps every day, back to his cell, sits on his bed, stares at the wall. Guards think he's broken, but inside his head El Chapo is counting. Days, weeks, months. Communication seems impossible. No phones, no letters. Or so the prison thinks. But El Chapo has a lawyer. Lopez visits once a month. Official legal consultations. They discuss appeals, motions, all recorded. But Lopez's right hand, resting on the table, fingers tapping, Morse code, telling El Chapo the tunnel's progress. El Chapo's left hand, hidden, taps back, conversation in silence. By June 2015, the tunnel is nearly finished. 16 months of digging. The final approach. Lopez delivers the message. S. Leap on the floor, near the shower drain, every night, 8:30 p.m. El Chapo understands. The shower area has a blind spot, 2 feet by 2 feet. If he lies there, cameras can't see him clearly. He starts sleeping on the floor. Guards assume he's depressed. Noted in reports, inmate exhibiting signs of depression. No one suspects. Meanwhile, 30 feet below, engineers dig upward. Slowly, quietly, hand tools only. July 11th, 2015. They're directly beneath cell 20. Tonight is the night, 8 p.m. El Chapo finishes dinner, slides the tray through the slot. Guard takes it, walks away. El Chapo moves to the shower, lies down, face up, heart pounding. After 17 months, freedom is 8 feet below, but if something goes wrong, he's finished. 8:45 p.m., a faint scraping sound, metal on concrete. His breath catches. They're here. Scratching, grinding, crack. A small hole appears, 6 inches wide. Dust pours out. A voice from below. Patron, vamonos, boss, let's go. A motorcycle on rails, engine idling. El Chapo climbs on. The driver twists the throttle. They lurch forward, faster, wind in his face. The tunnel is a blur. 1 mile, 30 miles per hour. 8:52 p.m. The guard walks past cell 20, glances at the monitor, sees El Chapo on the floor. Same position, notes it, continues patrol, doesn't zoom in. If he had, he'd see something strange. It's not El Chapo, it's a dummy. Clothes stuffed with towels, pillow for a head. Positioned exactly where El Chapo was. But at 9:30 p.m. a guard notices. The figure hasn't moved in 40 minutes. Unusual. Can you zoom in? The camera operator adjusts, zooms in. Closer. Wait, that's not a person, that's clothes. The alarm sounds, deafening. Red lights flash, guards sprint, boots pounding, the warden screaming. Lock down the prison, find him. The door slams open, guards flood in, guns drawn. The cell is empty, just the dummy and a hole 16 inches by 16 inches. How is this possible? 1 mile away, the motorcycle screeches to a stop. El Chapo climbs off, legs shaking. He's in the warehouse. A ladder leads up 20 feet. He climbs. At the top, 2 men pull him out, hand him water. He drinks it in 3 gulps. Another hands him a phone. We're on our way. 15 seconds later, headlights, a black SUV, tinted windows. Door flies open. El Chapo climbs in. The SUV tears off. Back at Altiplano, chaos. Federal police flood in. Forensic teams photograph the hole. The warden calls the president. Sir, he's gone. president screams. What do you mean gone? Engineers are lowered into the hole. Follow the tunnel, wooden beams, electrical wiring, ventilation pipes, rail tracks, a marvel of engineering. After 30 minutes, they reach the warehouse. Empty, just silence. The tunnel took 18 months, cost $5 million. Headlines explode. El Chapo escapes again. The DEA releases a statement, "We warned you. Now he's gone." But something doesn't add up. Guards watched screens as El Chapo disappeared, yet took 20 minutes to check. Inmates complained about drilling for weeks. Guards ignored them. The warden is fired. 2 Secret Service agents charged. 2 control room guards charged. They bought El Chapo time. But the truth? We'll never know. El Chapo is free. Most wanted man on earth. The hunt begins again. For 18 months he evades capture, moving between safe houses, always one step ahead until he makes a mistake. 2015, El Chapo wants fame, a movie about his life. Actor Sean Penn is involved. Mexican actress Kate del Castillo arranges a meeting. October 2015, El Chapo meets them. While on the run, Penn interv. Use him. Published in Rolling Stone. But the entire time, authorities are monitoring Penn and del Castillo. Getting closer. January 2016, Marines locate El Chapo in Los Mochis. A taco order from a white van. The driver is one of his men. Marines surveil the car, leads to a safe house. They storm it. Gunfight erupts. Marines push through. El Chapo flees through another tunnel, climbs out of a drainage ditch, across from a Walmart, steals a car at gunpoint. But the car breaks down, steals another, gets on the highway. Too late. Police arrest him. He tells officers, "You are all going to die." But he's handed to the Marines. Over. After a decade of escaping, protected by corruption, El Chapo is finally caught. Later that day, the president tweets, "Mission accomplished." Soon after, extradited to the United States. The one thing he feared. July 17, 2019. Sentenced to life. Colorado Supermax, ADX Florence, where he remains today. Life plus 30 years. No tunnel can reach him there. The Altiplano escape remains the most sophisticated prison break in modern history. The tunnel was destroyed, filled with concrete, but the blueprints were never found. The men who dug it were never caught. Officials who were bribed were never prosecuted. Only the warden paid the price. Fired. Charged with negligence. But everyone knows the truth. Andrew Hogan, retired from the DEA, lives quietly now. Catching El Chapo was just one battle. The Sinaloa, a cartel, is as strong as ever, operating as an undeterred global organization. Because in the end, you can capture the king, but the empire never dies.